One thing I wanted to ask you, because you've been in this podcast world for a while, right? I've kind of just started this one. Which has been easier for you to monetize? Is it the podcast? Is it TikTok? Is it Instagram, YouTube? Like, where do you think your leads are really coming from?
Yeah. When I did the first brand deal with the company, well, I've done a couple different deals. Some of them it's like a video and consulting, because I do offer strategy and I can work with brands that way. I can help brands broker deals with creators. There's like many ways that I can like work with people. I can do freelance and like make you a video from scratch, because my background is video production. But when I approach it, it hasn't been like it's one video, like it's one TikTok video, it's one podcast. When I approach it, it's all right. It's eight podcast episodes, 45-second brand read, and you get one TikTok in the mix, and it's a package deal. And then I do that at a budgeted rate, as opposed to if it would be buying each episode outright, like one at a time, or one TikTok one at a time. So honestly, I've leveraged both of them. What I think the cool thing about this is what I'll say about podcast. A podcast is the new book. All right. So back in the day, 10 years ago, people, brands, authority figures, people that wanted to be authorities, would write a book to be like established and respected in that industry. Now, you don't need a TikToker, if he has a podcast, it fits that same purpose. So my podcast, Creators Are Brands, already, if you see that and you see my guest lineup, it makes me an authority immediately. So that's why I started it. That's one of the reasons I started it. But also TikTok, we're doing short 20 to 30-second videos, and you can see I'm a little long-winded here. I wanted a podcast so we could go deeper into some of these exciting subjects that we have with creators. No,
that's a great way to think about it. Kind of leveraging both for the sponsorships, right? And it's not just like one channel. It's like multi-channel, right? They come in through TikTok, then they get more value from you on the podcast, and then they're like, all right, if we want to sponsor some of Tom's stuff, we can kind of have it everywhere, right? We'll get the sponsorship on the podcast. We'll get a little bit of TikTok. People that are following him on all platforms, we'll kind of hit him everywhere.
Yes, I think you bring up a good point, and let's talk about this subject of almost treating your all of your channels as if it's like a full media company. So like Comcast, right? Like they have many different entities that when Coca-Cola goes to them and they say, okay, where can we do some placement with you guys? All right, you got this show, we got, these web channels, we have this digital thing on Snapchat, like whatever. Like there's all these different things. So if you think about your whole thing is this whole menu of options, you have everything from like your TikTok to your podcast to link in bio to you could sponsor a freebie, you could sponsor something on your newsletter. There's so many ways you could do. Like I've thought about this before. Just you and I could do a one-off workshop. We put on TikTok tomorrow. So to answer your question, which I don't even remember at this point, there's just don't think about it. Don't think about it as one transaction on a single video. Think of the whole of your brand and how you can integrate it into like different touch points for how people experience it.
Right. There's so many different media placements that you can offer if you have multiple channels as well. It's like you kind of mentioned, it's almost like a menu that you can go and approach brands with. And I like to think of my content, like just outside of TikTok, like everywhere, as a funnel, right? Like I think of TikTok itself as a funnel. I think of like all of these other touch points as a funnel as well, right? You got the email list. So it's like the more touch points you can have with your target audience, kind of shifting away from brand deals now, but like into talking more about like offering your own products and your own services, kind of the more touch points you can have, the more you're going to be able to build that relationship with your audience, with your potential customers. So like for you, you got the TikTok, and you're right, it's more like it's short stuff, like short, choppy, more like awareness. Then you got the podcast where you go deeper, right? This person could spend a full hour with you just listening to you talk, right? And that's just more bottom funnel, more building that connection with people. So I do think that's important for creators to have multiple platforms that they work with and just don't let it just end right on TikTok, or don't let it just end right on YouTube, right?
Yep.
Always give someone a way to go deeper with you in your funnel, whether that's joining your email list, whether that's, going to your live calls in your Discord, on your podcast, whatever it is. I think that's something that's super important for creators to do.